Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk to you about quote control. Quote control is a way to track your leads within your system. Quotes and policies are considered two separate entities within Genesis. The reason that we track your leads or quotes in Genesis is to allow you the ability to pull them back up to share them with your team members when needed. It also allows you the ability to turn your Genesis into a lead generating database. This is used for marketing purposes within your Genesis, sending out automated emails to your customers. You can pull reports based on information in quote control as well. There are at least 36 different reports that you can pull from your quote control information. One of my favorites is quote versus written ratio per producer. Let's take a look. Here is your quote control section. You can set up filters here to adjust what you see in this card and for who. You will also be able to adjust the status that you're looking at here. These are custom and can be set up inside of your quote control. We'll look at that in just a little bit. This can serve as a task list for you. So if you're looking at all of your pending quotes, these are quotes that you're currently working on. At the bottom of the card, you'll notice a total premium. This total premium is per status. So this tells me that currently I have about $2,700 in premium on these open quotes that I'm working on. If you choose the quoted status, it will allow you the ability to know your value of your pipeline. Those are your completed quotes. You can right-click here for a few different options. You'll be able to filter your quotes here, find stored quotes, add new quotes, go to a quote, review quotes, delete quotes, and quotes with no premium report. Now we're going to take a peek inside. When you begin working with a new lead, and you want to make sure that this person isn't already in your database first, there's a couple different ways to accomplish this. Yes, you could search for them up in your search. However, you can also right-click here and find stored quotes. My favorite way is to hold down your control key and hit the letter Q, and it will bring up your filter. And here's where you'll begin searching for that new customer. If you search for the customer and it finds them, then it will look like this. These are quotes that you're currently working on. If they're already a client in your system, you'll see their name here. If they have any open suspenses, you'll know that here as well. If they're in neither of these cards, then you can always hit New Quote here and begin working with that customer. However, if they are already in quote control, you'd want to go back there and begin working with them. That way you're not doing double entry. If they're already a current client in your system, you would want to click here. Then in the top right hand corner here, you can do Add New Quote to Quote Control. If they're already in your quote control, you can click on it to go to that quote. This way it will automatically transfer the contact information instead of you typing it again. If they already have an existing lead, you'll want to go to that existing lead. If it's a different kind of policy, you would just hit New Quote here and begin the next line of business. Now it's time to fill out the quote information. Now that you have your client information entered, you'll begin working on your quote. Email or text will allow you to communicate with your client easily while working on their quotes. You can create an email template to use for sending repetitive emails. As you're getting quotes back from your carriers, you'll want to store them in your stored rates. It will keep the best rate on top, allowing you to quickly know which one is best. There is a notes area for keeping track of important information about that quote, such as no physical damage, or a different deductible, or a different term. A bridge will be created to the quote at the carrier if you choose to copy the URL, and that would go here. This way you can come back and you'll be able to jump right to the carrier. Once you have decided the best rate, you will highlight the one that you're going to choose and then simply import that stored rate here. It's going to ask you if you'd like to use the payment information from the grid. I'm going to say yes, and then I'll close my stored rates. This will move your rate to the main quote control screen on the right side. If you charge fees in your agency, you have a place for those as well. Company Suggestions allows you to quickly jump to the carrier to get a quote manually. Once you're ready to turn the lead into an active client with this policy, you will click the Export to Genesis. This will move all of the information here onto a client account in your database. Let's look at a few more things in quote control. First, let's look at status. Status is where you are going to tell the system where you're at with this customer. You can create your own statuses here under Add and Edit. We're going to give you some suggestions, but you can make your own. Once you've gathered your information and you're ready to quote, you have a few options in your quote menu, top left. Here you'll see the different rating options. Some of these will be imports and some of these will be exports. You will also have your Genesis rater from North Carolina on the very far left. Let's talk about the export. This means that you will start in quote control, and once you have all of your fields completed, you will come here to create the export file to be imported into your rater. This is an XML export. Now let's talk about import. Import means that you will start in your rater, and once you get your quote, you will create an export file to import into your Genesis that will pre-fill all of this information for you. This is an XML import or an AL3 import. That's it for Genesis Quote Control. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to us.